Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to another video. It's week 14 NFL. Let's talk about week 13. Well, we hit on the Detroit Lions. Didn't do too bad. I think I only lost 3 games out of 14 games last week. Don't quote me on that. I didn't count all the games, but we did pretty well. Pretty well last week. If you would bet $100 for each game, you should be up maybe 1,000 or 1,100 depending, but let's move on. Another week, another dollar. Also, I'm following a Facebook group. They have a 10-day 10K challenge, but I was doing the math. Actually, I'm going to do something similar. I'm gonna start off with $100 and see if I could double it in 7 days, and that should be 10K in 7 days. So follow me on that. I'm going to post the videos of that journey in a little bit here, and that's going to be mostly for NCAA basketball, since football has been is coming to a iffy area as far as the end of the season is concerned, as far as NBA. So the games we really want to focus on going forward. You definitely don't want to focus on all the teams that's not going to get into the playoff picture and who's just playing for a paycheck or pride. Probably just want to focus on the division leaders: Packers, Tampa Bay, Cowboys. Also, you have the wild cards: the Rams, Washington, 49ers, and Philly. And, you might have a couple other teams. I don't have all the teams, but those are the teams really fast that I'm focusing on. So I already highlighted a couple games that I'm looking for. Like, for instance, the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I want to choose the Vikings, and, it's like the Steelers. So I'm just going to say this. The Steelers' record, I think their record. Let me go ahead and one second. Let me look this up. 1 second. All right, guys, I'm back with you. I just did some information. Usually, the Steelers, I was looking up the Steelers' record. They only have 6 wins, 1 tie. So they usually go over 50% each year as far as Mark Tomlin, since he's been the head coach of the Steelers. So they have been 50 or 500 or better. So I'm looking for them to be 500 this year as well with all the losses. So these are the games I feel like they're going to be close, since the Steelers, I think the head coach, he has like a little pride with that. And I hate betting on the Steelers as my favorite team because I feel like I'm a little biased looking at it. But if I just try to take the feelings out of it and just go with information, I'm just going to look at the +3 against the Minnesota Vikings. So there's a couple other games on here that I'm going to get to. As far as this Raiders team, Raiders and the Chiefs division rival, I definitely like the 9.5, because after that loss with the Raiders last week against Washington, they definitely have to come with it, and I'm looking for them to cover with the 9.5. Now we have the Saints and the Jets. I mean, I wouldn't even make a bet on this. These two teams are obviously out of the playoff race, and they're just playing for pride and everything. If you're going to pick any team, I mean, the Saints is the better team if you want to tease them down and probably get positive points for them. Then you had the Jets, or you want to tease the Jets up, but the Jets is the worst team you can bet on. I wouldn't do that. I think the Saints is the better team. Just tease them down if you're going to make a bet. You got the Jags and the Tennessee Titans. Definitely like the Titans to go in and handle business, but I still think that's, well, maybe not. Probably not for the Jags. Not for the Jags. This is a division rival as well. I'm looking at the Titans to go in and handle business, the 8.5. But if you definitely want like a little safety net, I would definitely tease this down and tease the Titans down as well. And then look at this +350, right? Say, for instance, both of these games play out 1. So, yeah, I definitely tease the Saints down because they are a better team than the Jets. The Jets just been horrible, and they lost a wide receiver last week, plus the running game. and they barely have any weapons. So this is obviously the safe bet if you're going to do a 2-game teaser with the Tennessee Titans. And let's go back. And the Titans, if you just want another security blanket with them, you got $350 right here. You could put 100 on this game. That'll probably net you maybe $60, maybe 20 right here to cover for the insurance. So the blow just in case Jacksonville wins, but I don't see them winning. But then again, it's strange when it comes to the NFL. But these games, I wouldn't even bet. The Saints, Jets, the Jags, and Tennessee. I mean, I'd like Tennessee to come in and handle business, but definitely tease that down. And then now you have the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. After that loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're definitely looking for the Ravens to bounce back this next week, because this is a game that is one of the must-wins for the Baltimore Ravens. And they barely lost that game. But I do like the Ravens in this with the +2, especially with the points, especially if you tease that up. If you tease that up and give them more points, I definitely like the Ravens in this. Next game, the Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Is again, they don't have any reason to go out there and play. This is pretty much like an expedition game. So, I mean, these teams are close. I think the Falcons just have that little much to prove. Plus, they're getting the points. I think Carolina's the better team on paper. But the Falcons, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Again, I wouldn't even bet that one. It is, like they're just playing for a paycheck. So it's kind of like, all right, are they really going to give it their all? Or are they just going to go out there and just put on a show, So if you are going to place a bet, definitely take the points with that game. The Cowboys and the Washington football team. Washington is a wild card. In the wild card race, obviously, this is a division rivalry game, so I'm expecting this game to be close. And that +4 is really good, especially if you tease that up. I'm expecting this game to be closer than what people may have realized. And this Washington team, is when Heineke took over, I mean, this team was, I knew that I did like their quarterback, but I didn't know they was going to be up this far. They was going to put on this much of a show for the NFL this year. So Washington is a team to look at. Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. Again, both teams are out. Seattle is the better team. Tease that down if you're going to make a bet on it, but I don't even see why. And this is just another game for show. Now you had the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. I keep hitting that. So the last couple of games. Oh, let me go back up to that Washington game. So just so you know, here we go. Let's go to the screen. So as you can see, let me fix this. I know I bumped it a couple of times. Washington, is this? No, this is actually Pittsburgh. One second. Let me go to Washington. I thought I had all of this taken care of already. Just bear with me here. Washington has been covering all of their games for the last 4 games. So let's go to betting view. Here you go. As you can see, this is what you call the spread. Let me pull this up. So that's the spread in this column. In the last 4 games, they covered the spread. Same thing with the Lions. So let's go back. So I definitely like the +4 with Washington. And the Lions, they have been covering. I know they were gunning for that first win. But I'm going to ride that streak. I'm going to ride the streak, see where it takes me. So I like the +8, especially if you tease that up as well. New York Giants and the Los Angeles Chargers. Again. You know what? I don't know. This is a game that's kind of got me, Obviously, Los Angeles is the better team. They're playing at home. That's 10.5. But the Giants, their defense have been holding opponents. Actually, let's go look. Let's see how the Giants been doing. Let's go look for a second, as far as the spread, if they've been covering the spread or not. So we go down here. No, they really haven't. Except for that Philly game. Yeah, they really haven't. So I'm going to go with the Chargers with the 10.5 if you want to make a bet on that game. Again, I want to focus more on the wild card games because they're going to be bringing a little more motivation into it. So a 10.5 for a team that's kind of like in the playoffs, that's a bit much. It's a bit too much points. So definitely go ahead and tease this down with another team. And then look at this, you got 410 over there. Put 200 on that, place a little bet on the 410, you should be good. We have San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Bengals, they've been on fire lately. They've been on fire. 49ers, they had a bunch of turnovers last game, and 49ers is playing at the Bengals. I want to say I like the under because I don't know what the weather's going to be. And like last night with the Bills in the Patriots game, it was snowing, so that definitely hindered the over prop. But the Bengals and the 49ers, here you go. I'm going to go with the Bengals with this one. If the Bengals, I'm going to have to go with the Bengals on this one. Looking for the Bengals to win. Looking at them to cover the 1.5, but tease that up. Tease it up just to be safe. I like to tease it up. Get them at a +3 rather than a 1 if you want to do that as far as the spread is concerned. But this game is kind of, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. And you definitely want the team with the most points with these two. The Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, they didn't beat anybody over 500 other than the Patriots and the Rams. But look at where the Rams are now, fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So I'm going to have the Bills in this one. The Bills lost their game last night, so they definitely need to bounce back. And this is the best scenario for them to do that. They're playing in good weather in Tampa Bay, Florida, and they have +3 facing Tom Brady, the quarterback that's been giving them issues for years, who is in this division. So I'm looking at the Bills to bring it against Tom Brady and to definitely lock him up, or try to lock him up, should I say. But yeah, the Bills, I think the Bills had a vendetta against the Pats, but in other words, I really feel that it's pretty much Brady they have the vendetta against. So with that said, so next game, I have the Bills with the +3. Next game, you have the Chicago Bears and the Packers. I'm going with the Packers. The Bears just have too much. They're just complicated with that one. And I like the Cardinals in this one. Give them at 2.5 though. 2.5. But then again, without Rob Woods, the Rams have been struggling, and hopefully Deshaun Jackson can definitely get it going for the Rams and Matthew Stafford. But I don't know. Matthew Stafford hasn't been showing up for these last couple of games for the Rams. Kind of disappointed. So I definitely like the Cardinals with the 2.5. But all right, guys, that's all I have for you for this week of the NFL. And definitely looking more towards the wild card teams that might have a chance to get into a playoff spot. Looking for them to fight a little harder than normal, and pretty much staying away from all the games that, with all the teams that's under 500 who don't have a chance of making the playoff spot because they're pretty much playing for a paycheck. So those are my thoughts, my opinions. I want to say I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. And most importantly, bet wisely. And I'll be doing the challenge. I might start that today. So watch for a video for the 7-day 10K challenge. All right. Later.